Good fucking morning, night. How's everybody today? I'm feeling pretty good. Just sat down, got my routine all worked out. So we're gonna start with some quads. I'm gonna start blasting those things today. And so I'm doing my paperwork this morning and had some video ideas. And I got a couple of, it reminded me of a couple stories. Because I was updating one of the videos about the bodybuilding supplements. I wanted to make sure I forgot to mention the BCAAs in there for you guys. So when I was thinking about the supplements, I started thinking about back in my early infancy days, right? I got a couple of really good stories for you guys. This is pretty funny. So let me do my first set and then we'll get to it. Alright, so me and my first wife, we had an escort agency way back in the 90s, and we used to hang around with the other owners. You know, we were all good friends with the other owners. It was, I think it was 2 or 3 of us at the time. So anyways, one of the owners, his name is Pat. Anyways, Patty, he was this bald-headed, stone-cold looking freak with the red eyebrows, you know, and the little red mustache, you know. Oh, anyways, character and a half. So, in between calls, we're at his place, and he breaks out some clenbuterol that he had. It was in like a pump. So we're talking about it. If you guys don't know what the clenbuterol is, it's a bronchodilator steroid. You just use it for, you know, really burning a lot of body fat. You know, it's pretty intense. And some people theorize that when you get off the cycle, it's good to go on clenbuterol to help maintain your muscle. But anyway, so he shows me this big, like it's like almost like a shampoo bottle, kind of a pump thing. I said, oh, fucking right on, man. Yeah, give me a bottle of that. So anyways, I'm looking at it and I go, how much do you take? He goes, well, I take a full pump. I'm like, a full pump? Give me see that goddamn thing. So I sit down at the kitchen table and I'm reading the back because it goes in micrograms, right? So I remember back in my day, you're only supposed to take 20 micrograms 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, and night. So I already knew this, right? So I asked my buddy Patty, I said, well, how much is this you taking? Well, I take a full pump 3 times a day. I'm like, what? Are you fucking crazy, man? That's like 80 micrograms. 80 micrograms every single time. You're taking like 8 times the dose, man. What are you doing? He goes, well, that's why I've been shaking so bad. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, man. So, not only did I save that motherfucker from a heart attack, but, you know, it also had a bit of an ego thing because it, you know, made me look like I was fucking talking about, which will go into my next story. I know what I'm talking about. So we're all night, you know, doing business, and usually the routine was, I used to work at Costco during the day, so at night, me and the other owners and my wife, you know, she was a working lady. We usually get off at 5, 6 in the morning, and then I would go to Costco for my 11 o'clock shift, right? Usually what we do is we get off at the end of the night, we all go for breakfast, and we used to go to this place downtown called Nichols, and we used to all hang out and pig out there and talk about the night and tell our funny stories of what happened. Business or just whatever. Usually it's about 5, 6 in the morning. So by the time me and my wife Sarah got home, you know, we shower up, clean up, and then we usually would do our workouts. So don't mind me, I'm working out and doing the video at the same time. So the morning was no different than any other. You know, I can't remember what body parts we were training that day, but it didn't matter what we trained. We always seemed to have sex after our workout, right? It was just fucking routine, right? Man, she was in amazing shape. She was a fucking beautiful woman. I mean, she was just like bah, you know, super hot. So it's kind of hard not to have sex afterwards, right? You know, lay her down on the bench, you know, fucking, you know, go at it, and oh yeah, all kinds of crazy shit. But that was the routine. So today was no different than any other. And I'm on top, top row, and you can adjust the bench, right? So I got her legs, she's sitting down, I got her legs up, and I'm going at it. All of a sudden I get this massive pain in my chest. I'm just fucking, ah! And I thought I was having a fucking heart attack. So I was like, you okay, honey, you okay? She was freaking out because I couldn't breathe, and it was like someone was stabbing the knife in my chest, right? So it finally passed, so, you know, go in the kitchen, I get my shake ready, take my bodybuilding supplements, down that, quickly jump in the shower, then a little nap, and then off to work. So, I don't remember what part of the day it was. It was just, you know, we're just working beside my buddy. And all of a sudden I start having those same goddamn chest pains again, right? I mean, I feel like it was just something that was ripping out of my chest, or it was being stabbed, it was just, I couldn't breathe. And then it lasted about 5 minutes, and they come and go throughout the day, right? So I get back home, and my wife's still sleeping, because obviously she works at night, so she was still sleeping. I wake her up, and I tell her, Sarah, listen, honey, man, like, something's wrong. Like, something is definitely wrong here. She goes, okay, well, let's get our asses to the clinic and get you checked out. So we head down Maryville. We go to the Apple Tree. It's like a kind of a clinic, family medical clinic here in Ottawa. So I go in there, and I'm talking to the doctor, and I'm telling her what happened, what my symptoms were. She goes, well, do you take aspirin? I'm like, yeah, well, yeah, I do. I do take aspirin, actually. This is how I used to take aspirin. Okay, so back in the 90s, Muscle Tech Bodybuilding Supplement Company used to make this fat burner called Hydroxycut. Well, the ingredients were ephedrine, you know, what people used to cook meth with, but back then it was a fat burner. We used it as a fat burner. So we used to combine it with caffeine and aspirin. That was their bodybuilding supplement. Well, what happened is ephedrine became illegal. So in Canada, so we couldn't have the ephedrine in the Hydroxycut. They would sell it without it, right? Just with the caffeine and the aspirin. So instead of going to the goddamn States to get it like we normally do, I decided, I read up on, like, well, geez, maybe I can make it myself, right? So, because it'd be a hell of a lot cheaper. So that's what I did. So I got a hold of some ephedrine, because even though it was legal in Canada, some of the bodybuilding place, supplement, like GNCs and stuff like that, some of those guys had it under the counter. So I just bought the ephedrine and then had some caffeine and the aspirin. So what I used to do is I take the ephedrine pill, I take it out in a little glass, right? A little shot glass, whatever. I take some coffee grounds, throw that in there, and I throw 1 or 2 aspirin in there. Crush it up, a little bit of water, and down I go, right? So back to the doctor. The doctor says, do you take aspirin? I said, yeah, I do. So I tell her what I do, and she goes, it basically looked at me like I was a fucking idiot. Because basically I was taking like 10 times the amount of aspirin that your stomach can handle. So I ended up having an ulcer. And then she goes, well, that's why you'll feel it there. You don't feel it down here, you feel it there. So I had this like fucking brutal bleeding ulcer from all the aspirin. You know, so back to my buddy Pat, like, I'm the one that knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, so a little funny story for you guys there. Until I see you guys again, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. God bless you all.